This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Air Up. I'm doing the interview behind the camera today. I know it's unusual, but I'm joined by Mams Taylor and Callis Ireland. This is taking place the night before fight night, a few hours after the weigh-in at the hotel. They're having a nice meal. What are you eating there, Calla?
Ribeye steak, 450 grams.
I take it you've already eaten.
I've eaten, thanks, Fred.
Just to check, you know.
Nothing like a bit of red meat before fight night.
Let's just go straight into it. I won't take too much of your I won't take too much of your time up today. I'm sure it's going to be a short one. I'm sure it won't be too long. The weigh-in today, did it go as expected, go as planned, or was that just something that happened? Doesn't happen on Misfits?
Really well, because I think it was smooth. I think it was fun. Everything went to plan, and actually we were prepared for much worse or crazier things to happen, and it didn't. So honestly, overall, very successful, entertaining, checked all the boxes, and so much work and stress behind it. But as it happened and when it happened, I think we were very pleased, right, Cal?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got it sorted, eh?
Got it on point this time. Nailed down like a coffin.
It was a strategic decision on the way to the venue.
To put them both in
Why
the
do you keep
cages.
looking at me like I'm going to say something outrageous? No, you look really like you look like you're
You've been...
Callis Ireland does lack a PR team. Mams has one.
No, I am the PR team. And also, Cal, he's been on a roll today. I think we haven't slept more than an hour between us.
I haven't slept much either. I haven't eaten much. It's a fight week, you know. You got to firm it. You can't do much about it. It's the biggest one you guys ever put on. We're hoping there'll be a bigger one.
Steak, sleep,
Prime.
We're hoping obviously we can top this card because it obviously is such a big card itself. Let's just go straight into it. Let's talk about tomorrow's actions. Can we expect any surprises? Classic Misfit style surprises, Calla?
Well, I think everyone expects Tommy to. The bookies expect Tommy to beat KSI, so that's a surprise in itself when KSI beats Tommy. Top of the card. Look through the card. Surprises.
We have some surprises.
Oh no, we got surprise. No, I'm talking about fight
I'm
surprises.
pushing you for another surprise, but you're not giving it to me.
I'm kind of pushing. I'm pushing for like a Pineda surprise entrance, Undertaker themed, like WWE-esque. You know, the things that Misfits put out of the bag.
Loads of things on
Just
there.
wait and see.
Wow.
Just wait and see.
UFOs, those sort of things. You'll see it all tomorrow night going down. Big time.
All takes place on Misfits. What was the decision?
LiveOnTheZone.com. All over the world. Buy it now.
You added a very good fight in Ed Matthews. He fought Blueface last time out, back on another promotion in April. He's fighting Swarms. Do you think that's kind of flown slightly under the radar, even though it's such a good fight?
No, how's it under the radar? It's the main event of the prelims, which is going to have massive amount of eyeballs on it. I think it's a great fight. I think, if they had a build-up, I think it would have been wonderful as well. They just, obviously, what happened, but be some good action in the ring tomorrow night.
You can't have too much of build-up, I guess, if it's announced at the weigh-ins, which is fair enough on Misfits side of things.
To stop you. I think that we have. You give me that look again, aren't you?
I'm waiting to see what you're going to say.
no, but it's true. We have 3 events tomorrow night.
We do.
We got the prelims with a main event. Then we got the main card. Main event. Or 3 main events actually for me. You got the Kenny fights a main event. The Salt Pappy fights a main event, and of course, Dean Wallage is a main event. So you got sort of like a triple header main event.
And look at Winderson, 600.
That's how big it is that I can't even. I could call that the co-feature.
The guy's got 500 million views plus.
636 million views in 2 hours. In 2 hours. We've had over 1.5 billion views on the weigh-in, and we're 3 hours out from the weigh-in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's melting the internet as we speak. Yeah, it's doing rather well.
The pay-per-view buys, you guys always like to say...
Hold on, let me finish. So then you have the third part of the card, which is the main event, the double header.
Big.
So it's like you've got
Big.
sort of these three, like, that's why it is the prime card, because it's so prime.
It's
So
prime for the
prime
fans.
bit of beef, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Prime and like your steak. What fight are you most looking forward to, Mams? Apart from JJ and Logan's fights.
I can't wait for the tag team action. I can't wait for Whinderson and Nate, the battle of the...
Talk about tag team,
Ba-
That's going to be banging.
It's going to be banging. You've got the battle of... I think everyone's so evenly matched. I think, really honestly, every fight is about 50-50. Dean and Waleed, a big favourite, and obviously Slim and Salt Pappy. Very, very respectful for the most part on Slim and Salt Pappy. I think there's some nervous energy from both of them there. It's such high stakes and a lot on the line for them.
For Salt especially, he's coming off a loss. 2 losses in a row.
He looks phenomenal, though. Look how much weight he lost.
Absolutely incredible. Great advert for boxing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Slim, he's got a good team around him, yeah?
Salt Pappy weighed less than Slim today in the weigh-ins.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that.
Salt Pappy was like 161. Was it not 165 the fight? So how come he's 4 pounds under?
That's okay. It's the weight category's fine as long as you're not over 165, and as long as there's not a £10 difference between them or whatever. But Slim and Salt, couldn't believe it. Slim was like around 163, 164, and Salt was 161.5 or something. It's just a testament to his hard work, and also shows that I think Pappy could be fighting. His optimum weight might be the 155 category. You know, I mean, he's already ripped, but he could get even more ripped. Well, who do you predict on that fight, Cal?
You know, I was totally thinking it's Salt, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I rate his, not his punching power, but he's good at getting into positions, and Anthony Taylor, he roughed him up, and he couldn't get those shots off. He made a mistake in taking that short amount of rounds, a couple more rounds, and I think he would have caught up with him. But, he learns from his mistakes. Hats off to him going into to wanting that Slim fight so bad after a loss. So, he's obviously learning. But my pendulum has swung slightly because I'm undecided now. Slim was sitting next to me at the presser. A lot of nervous energy. Like, he's fidgeting the whole time.
It's not always a bad thing, though, is it?
But you never know. There's some that burn out from it.
Yeah.
You often see fighters tire in fights because of that nervous energy during the week, burning up, burns off the nerves. Other fighters in the program, like Deontay Wilder, he's full of that during fight week.
Yeah.
And he uses it for his performance.
Yeah.
So you don't know how he's going to react. I haven't seen Slim like that in a fight week before. I think they built a sort of psychology into him, which I picked on the press conference, was like he's making himself the underdog. He's making himself that everyone's picking on him, making himself. So I think he needs that to sort of push him. And, if that works for him, then great, But I do think that there's a game plan there. And I thought before it's a lamb to a slaughter, to be quite honest with you. I thought... Yeah, I didn't fancy Slim at all in this fight, and I think if it was the odds maker, it would have gone from big outside to I'd have that level picking now. Yeah, I'd have that level picking.
Speaking of odds, it's good to see that before you couldn't bet on any of the Misfits fights. Like, you bet on the main event occasionally, but now on all the betting websites you can bet on every single Misfits fight. So I think it kind of shows how legitimate it's come in the public side as well.
Well, we're also, I think, KSI Tommy Fury is one of the first. Not forgetting the fact that we have MF Pro category on BoxRec now, which is wonderful, right? That legitimizes these to a degree, and it's great to have that. But let's not forget, KSI versus Tommy Fury is a pro fight acknowledged by BoxRec as a pro fight and an MF Pro fight as well, both. So having said that, I think maybe for Tommy the stakes are even higher. Maybe a lot of people who were criticizing that fight didn't have any merit to criticize it, and now they really don't. So I think that's a wonderful thing. I'll tell you this. Fred, tell all your fans to hit up Sauerland Bros on Twitter, on Instagram, and DAZN Boxing and DAZN MFX Series, and tell them, please, we want to see Mike Perry versus Idris Virgo, and we need you guys to okay it, because Mams is one vote. We need their 2 votes to make that added to the card tomorrow. Yes, they're the bad guys. I'm the good guy. Help!
So this interview is being filmed at about 9 p.m. It'll be out in about 2 hours' time because the Wi-Fi is really bad at the hotel.
We need that fight. The boys want to fight each other. We need the zone.
Mike Perry's a madman. I think he's amazing for Misfits. Idris Virgo will fight anyone.
Let's make it happen.
It's got more to do with the arena times, though, that we got the issue.
That'd be 9 fights on the whole card, wouldn't it? Be a lot of fights.
Tweet the zone. Hashtag. Do whatever you got to do. Keep tweeting the zone.
Do I get 10% if it's made?
You get 10% of this. Yeah, pay 10% of the cost with your new sponsorship. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Air Up for sponsoring the channel. Let's just talk about this before I let you guys go. Winston Nunez, how many views has he pulled on his socials in the last few hours?
646 million.
So 646 million. I'm guessing at least 80% of those are Brazilians. I guess that shows how strong the Brazilian fan base is. Therefore, the Brazilian card is needed.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely see you guys in Brazil.
It can't just be Brazilian. It must be
Portuguese speaking as well. So it's not quite the same. Like, I'm not sure the Latin market embraces Brazilians because of the language difference. Maybe they do. I don't know. I've got to look into that more.
When we do Misfits Brazil early next year.
But listen, we've got some big plans. We've got Misfits Brazil. Then we're going to do Brazil versus Argentina. They've got some massive influencers.
What do you mean Brazil versus Argentina? So like nation versus nation. Okay.
And then we'll get round to the best of Latin America versus the rest of the world, etc. There's so much to do. Lots of cool. Yeah. Misfits World Cup.
Can we talk about this?
Look, he comes out with some gems.
I know.
It's not only Mams the crazy ideas, Callum's got a few as well. Can we talk about this, right? Last question, because it does keep me awake at night. A lot of people tell me, I'm not going to name any names, I'm going to throw anyone on the bus here, but a lot of people do tell me saying Misfits really need KSI to win this fight. They're really banking on it. If KSI was to lose to Tommy Fury, does that really?
There is no if.
We'll ask Callum this question then. Does that really fully impact Misfits' brand as a total? Do they fully rely on KSI? Because I just hear it so much. Can we just address that now?
Speak to those people. They must be really clever. Yeah. No, it's got absolutely nothing to do with it. I mean, first of all, we just talked victory, yeah? We just talked victory. But if a thunder flash came down from the heavens, no, it wouldn't affect the brand. We make it, lots of other fights to make, lots of things to do, and no. But again, we talk victory, but it's not. This Misfits is JJ's baby, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's got to do with JJ's fighting career. He's done it this way and not taken the easy cash because he's trying to build a monster, and we are building a monster.
Is it true, Callum, that Misfits Boxing in the combat sport promotional companies is the fastest growing company of all time?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to measure these things, isn't it?
No, it's not though. Think about it. Which promotion and company, combat sports related, has grown to this level in 1 year?
Well,
UFC didn't.
I would argue that we grew within 4 months at a speed that was, 4 months after our first event, we signed a 5-year multi-million-dollar deal. Now that is, you're right. It's confirmed.
We got there eventually, Callum. We got there.
Yeah. I'm not a boaster like this guy here, and I don't.
Wearing his Gucci coat.
No, and I'm giving it to you. I'm just saying that I don't go to bed thinking, we're the fastest. I mean, that's fantastic. He likes
being ambitious
he lives in America. It's American.
You want to win. It's Misfits about winning. You want to win. Be number one.
Yeah, he's more modest than I am. But
Only sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. All right, so you know what to do. At the Zone Boxing, at the Sauerland Bros, Idris Virgo versus Mike Perry. Mike Perry, hound them. Hound.
Tag Joe Markowski.
Tag Joe Makowski. Let him see how popular this fight would be.
Private account. Winter Bastion. Yeah.
Whatever you can do. All right, let's do
I'll let
it.
you guys have your meal.
Post this now so we can get to work.
Free Mike Perry.